Namaste, this is Abhinav. I welcome you. This is part two of the book I'll be covering is Zen Mind, Beginner Mind, part two of my learnings. So in this part, basically, I'll be taking up part one of the book, right? The introduction and prologue thing we have considered, we have taken in part one of my learnings. In this part two, we'll be covering part one we will be starting with part one, which starts from page 7 onwards, right? So I'll be picking up main points which can be helpful to our practice. Before moving forward, I have created a dedicated a Facebook group on mindfulness. So if you are interested in learning more about mindfulness and Zen, and I am myself a student of that, so you can join that, and I'll be sharing a lot of stuff in the coming future. So the link is there in the description. So let us start. So in Zen tradition, a lot of importance is given on the posture, right? Posture assumes a lot of significance, right? So what Suzuki is saying is that these forms or these postures are not the means of obtaining the right state of mind. To take this posture is itself to take this posture is itself to have the right state of mind. There is no need to obtain a special state of mind, right? He further explains about the positions, like how to sit, and the full lotus position, which represents the oneness of the duality and everything. What he's trying to convey is that our body and mind are not two and not one. If we think that our body and mind are one, that is also a mistake. If we think body and mind are two, that is also a mistake. Our body and mind are one and plural, different at the same time, right? So that understanding we should have. Each one of us is both dependent and independent. He says that after some years we will die. If we just think that this is the end of our life, that will be the wrong understanding. But on the other hand, if we think that we do not die, this is also wrong. We die and we do not die. This is the right understanding. Now, Suzuki says about the posture. Important thing is to, when you take a zazen posture, zazen basically, see. I cannot explain to you because I am not in that position to do zazen right now. But I will put a link in the description as to the zazen posture. You can search on YouTube and find the various links about zazen postures. But I will put one link down below so you will understand how zazen posture works, right? So important thing is, like any meditation practice, your spine should be straight, your ears and your shoulders should be in one line, right? Relax your shoulders and push up towards the ceiling with the back of the head, and you should pull your chin in. So the chin is slightly in. The hips are raised by a kind of a cushion called zafu cushion is used to raise the hips, so that our there is a natural curve between the lower back, and then the chin is raised in, and you can just close your eyes. It's like a half closed eyes, not necessarily full closed. If you prefer full close, that's fine, but you can just half close eyes, and you can have a smile, half smile on your face. Or if you don't want to have, that's also fine, but half smile helps. So this is basically the zazen posture. And what one more thing is that they do this called a cosmic mudra. That means the left hand is in the right hand, and it is like this. The middle joints, upon the middle joints, and they just slightly touch. So this is the way we sit. When we sit, this is the called the cosmic mudra. This is the way we sit, right? So this is the zazen posture, right? So there are some directions regarding the posture, so I'll not go deep into that. You can have your own meditation posture. Not necessarily you should follow the this particular posture. So that's not the requirement, right? But since this is a book about Zen, so he has given about all the details. Now, important thing what Suzuki is saying, that when you try to attain something, your mind starts to wander about somewhere else. When you do not try to attain anything, you have your own body and mind right here. Very important. In our any practice which we do, we should be present in that moment. Though if we think about obtaining something, or some visions, or some spiritual bliss or something, then we start our mind starts to wander. We are not here, and the practice doesn't give us results. One, now important thing what he says is, a Zen master would say, kill the Buddha. Kill the Buddha if the Buddha exists somewhere else. right? This is deep. If you see, just kill the Buddha, it's like a very strong kind of a thing. But the deeper meaning is that if you think Buddha is somewhere else, if you have a concept or an idea of Buddha, then kill that concept, kill that idea, and be right here. Because Buddha is all about awareness, is all about presence in this moment, right? Kill the Buddha, because you should resume your own Buddha nature right now, right? We have to resume our Buddha nature, which is our nature, our presence right now. Doing something is expressing our own nature. We do not exist for the sake of something else, right? So generally, how we go about in our life is from point A to point B. And in Zen practice, what we have to do is that we just exist for the sake of existing in this moment, not going anywhere else. No, we don't make work or our activities a means of achieving. So as Thai says, Thich Nhat Hanh says, that we wash the dishes to wash the dishes. We peel the potatoes to peel the potatoes. This is pure Zen practice. This is the fundamental teaching. Suzuki says the most important thing is to own your physical body. If so, Suzuki is saying if you slump, you will lose yourself. Your mind will be wandering about. So, if our body positions are right, then we will be in a right state of mind. If we are like slumping and everything, then our mind will wander. So, if we have to be in the present moment, it's not about meditation. What he's saying is right in our all daily tasks. Our posture should be right, because only a right posture, when it is there, can the right state of mind exist, right? We must exist right here, right now. This is the key point. You must have your own body and mind. Everything should exist in the right place, the right way. Then there is no problem. If the microphone I use, so like Suzuki is saying, if I'm speaking some here, and like this microphone is there in that other room, there's no point, right? So our body and mind have to be together. This is what is called, in other words, mindfulness of the body. Always ensuring that our body and mind are together in whatever we do. And when you do that, your body will heal in ways unimaginable. Why our body cannot heal? Because our mind, our attention is somewhere else. If we bring our attention to the body has the capacity to of healing itself. If we allow it to consciously relax, it can heal itself. Anyways, this is a different topic. It is impossible to organize things if you yourself are not in order. When you do things in the right way at the right time, everything else will be organized. So first, what we have to do is, we ourselves are not organized, and we try to organize the outer things. When Suzuki is so beautiful, and this is so deep, and this is, you'll only realize its worth when you actually, it comes in your experience. If you organize your inner state, the outer state will fall in place. We have to just work on our inner state. Keep making notes. If you are not able to understand, no problem, but at least grasp, make notes, whatever you resonate with. Read this book, and slowly, it takes 4 to 5 readings. When I read this book first time, it was like no, but then after that, as I'm reading, there are so many bulbons that happen, right? You are the boss. When the boss is sleeping, everyone is sleeping, right? When the boss is sleeping, nobody cares. When the boss does something right, everyone will do everything right in the right time. So it's like leading by example, right? This is the secret of Buddhism. So, which again, what Osho says, only and only you have to catch hold of this awareness, right? And then everything will be taken care of, right? So try to always keep the right posture, not only when you practice Zazen, but in all the activities. Take the right posture when you are driving your car and when you are reading. If you read in a slump position, you cannot stay awake long. You will discover how important it is to keep the right posture. This is the true teaching. Now he says about Buddha. Why Buddha? Buddha could not accept religions existing at his time. He studied many religions. Buddha studied many religions, but he was not satisfied with their practices. He could not find the answer in asceticism or in philosophies. He was not interested in some metaphysical existence, but in his own body and mind right now. And why? you, me, and many others, I think maybe some of you who are resonating, we have found refuge in Buddha's teaching, right? Because the teaching is only focused in the here and now, in my own body and mind, in my own experience, not on some philosophy or worshiping some god or some other higher deity and everything. It's right living, looking at ourselves, our own imperfections, embracing our own imperfections, right? And when Buddha found himself, he found that everything that exists has a Buddha nature. That was his enlightenment. Enlightenment is not some good feeling of a particular state of mind. The state of mind that exists when you sit in the right posture is itself enlightenment. Now, listen to it. If you cannot be satisfied with the state of mind you have in Zazen, it means your mind is still wandering. Our body and mind should not be wobbling or wandering. It is the posture. In this posture, there is no need to talk about the right state of mind. You already have it. This is the conclusion of Buddhism. Okay. Next comes to breathing. So breathing, Suzuki says, what we call I is just a swinging door which moves between when we inhale and when we exhale. So the whole inhaling and exhaling process is just happening. The throat, the basically throat is just as a swinging door. It is just existing as my I, my separate soul is my separate self is just existing as a swinging door between a natural process that is happening, right? So the whole of Zen meditation, Zen practice is focusing on the breath. That means, uh, that means he says when we practice zazen, our mind always follows the breathing, breath awareness, right? When we inhale, the air comes in the inner world. When we exhale, the air goes out to the outer world. Inner world is limitless. Outless world is also limitless. We say inner world or outer world, but actually there is only one whole world. In this limitless world, a throat is just like a swinging door. If you think I breathe, the I is extra. There, it is just happening. The breathing is just happening. If you think I am breathing, that I is extra. There is no you to say I. What we call I is just a swinging door which moves when we inhale and we exhale. When the now Suzuki says when the mind becomes pure and calm enough, then there is nothing, no I, no world, no body, no mind, just a swinging door. So when we practice zazen, all that exists is the movement of the breathing, but we are aware of this movement. Now, Suzuki says we should not be absent minded. Like, so it should not be that we forget or we go into some trance like state. No, we are totally aware, right? But to be aware of the movement does not mean to be aware of your small self, but rather your universal nature or the Buddha nature. This kind of awareness is very important because we are usually so one sided. Our usual understanding of the life is dualistic, you and I, this and that, good and bad. So all discriminations end over a point and we realize our own Buddha nature, which is the big mind which is prevalent everywhere around us. It's not me versus something else, something big. All the distinctions end. Next, Suzuki says when you practice, there is no idea of time or space. It's not that you'll have some practical idea of time. You'll put a timer like 15 minutes or 30 minutes, but you have to be in this moment. Suzuki says that when you say this is bad, so I should not do this, actually, when you say I should not do this, you are actually doing it. So there is no choice for you. Not to do something is doing something. Good and bad are only in your mind. So we should not say this is good or this is bad. Instead of saying bad, you should say not to do. Right? So what basically Suzuki says is just go ahead and do. Right? Just go ahead and even if you don't want to do, that's like a not to do. Right? But don't have too many ideas and concepts into your mind that this is good, this is bad. Generally, all of the fermentation that happens in the mind is because of all these ideas and concepts. In Zen, we just remain in this moment and we just act from this moment. We don't have too much running around. Whatever life asks from me in this moment, I just do and my work is over. And then next moment, whatever life asks me, I do that and my work is over. I am not into that thinking mode, that judgment mode, that expectation mode, right? I am just doing whatever comes. This is, I mean, this is deep. And if we try to inculcate, I am a student, I am trying to inculcate it in my life. But if even small areas, we just do the work, right? Don't think too much, right? Just do whatever right now you feel your gut says, I have to do this, whatever is do right, not right. Don't go into thinking too much, just do and complete it and then move to the other task. So Suzuki says all that we should do is just do something as it comes, do something, whatever it is, we should do it, even if it is not doing something. We should live in the moment. This is Zen practice. In this practice, there is no confusion. If you establish this kind of life, there is no confusion. Then there is this chapter on control. Now, beautiful way, beautiful line. And this is very deep. It may take you 2 3 times to understand this. Listen to this. To give your sheep or cow a large, spacious meadow is the way to control him. So, if you have a very exuberant sheep or cow, the best way to control that cow is just to give that cow a big, large, spacious meadow. Let it do whatever it does and watch it. This is the best way to control. This is deep, right? Generally, our idea of control is, asking people to do this, not do this, telling them, coaching them, convincing them, scolding them. You know, this is a totally different approach. What Suzuki is saying is, if you see things without realizing the background of Buddha nature, everything appears to be in the form of suffering. Even though you try to put people under some control, it is impossible. You cannot control people. You cannot control. The best way to control people is to encourage them to be mischievous, and then they will be in control in a wider sense. Because then you are in control with your, witnessing them as being mischievous. To that extent, you have control. But if you try to go and control them, then the reverse thing will happen. They will go all the more out of control. Then they will be in control in a wider sense. To give your sheep or cow a large, spacious meadow is the way to control him. So it is with people. First, let them do whatever they want and watch them. This is the best policy. To ignore them is not good. That is the worst policy. So when you are ignoring someone, that is also in a way you are trying to control him, right? So that is not at all you need to do. Second verse is trying to control them. The best is to watch them, just to watch them without trying to control them. The same works for you if you want to obtain perfect calmness in your zazen or your meditation. You should not be bothered by the various images. So, a lot of people get stuck in a lot of images and visions and sounds and all that come in the meditation. The Buddhist practice is basically to just let them come and let them go and don't serve them tea, right? Just let them come and let them go. Don't let them be a barrier in your practice. Lot of things will happen, lot of kind of visions and lot of things will come and go as you do your sadhana, as you do your meditation. But the important thing is not to be stuck in any particular thing. Now now Suzuki says, suppose you are sitting under some extraordinary circumstances. If you try to calm your mind, you will be unable to sit. And if you try not to be disturbed, your effort will not be right. So if you try to be calm, if you try not to be disturbed, then your effort will not be the right effort. Basically, our aim is just to concentrate on the inhaling and exhaling of the breath. But that is not the ultimate purpose. The ultimate purpose is to see things as they are. So when we see our breath as our in breath, the in breath as our in breath, when we recognize our in breath as our in breath and our out breath as our out breath, basically we are tapping into the Buddha nature, or the larger mind, the bigger mind. We are basically training ourselves to be the bigger mind, right? And that will basically then percolate it to our daily activities. The true purpose is to see things as they are. This is the most widely used quote of Suzuki from this book. The true purpose is to see things as they are, to observe things as they are, and to let everything go as it goes. This is to put everything under control in the widest sense. Zen practice is to open up our small mind. So, concentrating is just an aid to help you realize big mind, or the mind that is everything. If you want to discover the true meaning of Zen in your everyday life, you have to understand the meaning of keeping your mind on your breathing and the body in the right posture. Only two things you need to do in your entire day, in your as you do your daily work and everything. Keep your mind on your breathing and keep your body in the right posture. Only two things. And then you are in control of everything because you are in control of yourself. So first bring yourself in control and the outside things will automatically adjust. Okay, I think from mind waves we'll take it up separate next chapter. So this I have covered till page 16. So I hope this was useful. Thank you so much. Again, if you are keen to learn mindfulness, you can join my Facebook group. Link is there in the description. Do post your one top learning from all this discussion in the comment section. I'll be personally replying to you. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you.